Hi, how are you? I'm incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was at the airport the other day, flying somewhere, and I go in to use the self-service ticket machines they have in there, you know, those kiosks, and I put my credit card in the machine. The machine starts asking me all these questions. It's like, do you want to check a bag? And I'm like, no. And then the machine's like, do you want to change seats? I'm like, yeah, that sounds kind of fun. What'd you have in mind? And then suddenly, from out of nowhere, the machine asks me if I'll be flying with an infant on my lap. And I just thought, like, how could I possibly be able to predict that sort of thing ahead of time? I mean, it's like, yeah, if I get on that plane, there ends up being like a real cool baby on that plane, and like one thing leads to another, and we hit it off or whatever, then fuck yeah, I'll be flying with an infant on my lap. Maybe even for the whole flight, but don't expect me to commit to that sort of thing like 2 hours ahead of time. Will you be startled by a wizard? I don't fucking know that either. Why would you even ask me that? I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I love music. Thank you. And I know some of you are like, Dave, what's the big deal? Everyone loves music. But here's the real cool thing about me. I love all kinds of music. No, it's true. I love rock, I love jazz, I love rap, I love classical, I love metal. Like, you might not know it to look at me, but I'm probably like the most metal motherfucker of all time. I'm so metal that when I do go to the airport and the security agent says all metal objects must go through the X-ray, I just slide down on the fucking conveyor belt. That's how metal I am. The only kind of music I don't like is world music. It's the only music that's so shitty that no one country will take credit for it. You hear it and you're like, hey, Zimbabwe, that's you guys, right? And Zimbabwe is like, I've been hanging out with my dad a lot lately. Thank you. My dad just turned 86 years old. Yeah, it's pretty. Give him a hand. No, okay. So anyway, it's pretty old. So I've been trying to hang out with him as much as possible, you know, to create some lasting memories and make sure I get in the will and stuff. And my dad lives where I'm from in Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you. The Paris of northeastern Ohio. It's beautiful this time of year. And my dad just moved out of the house that I grew up in into a one-bedroom apartment way out in the middle of the woods, way out in the middle of nowhere. And I just went home and I stayed with him for a whole week, just the two of us in that little apartment. And by the end of that week, we were pretty much like one raccoon shy of a full-on Grey Gardens scenario. And you'll notice, like, not that many people laughed at that, but if you've seen Grey Gardens right now, you're like, that's the best joke I'll hear all year. But the cool thing about that joke is you could see Grey Gardens like 10, 20, 30 years from now, and you remember tonight and you'll just be like, Dave Hill did it again. He's the best there ever was, that motherfucker. And my dad's also like a super Irish Catholic guy, so he goes to church like pretty much whenever it's unlocked. He'll like check the door, be like, Dave, get in there. If we get in there, they gotta start a mass. Which means like I gotta go to church all the time when I'm home visiting him. I was just home visiting him. And it was Sunday, so my dad's like, Dave, it's Sunday, we gotta go to church. And I'm like, Dad, I don't wanna go to church, it sucks. And then my dad's like, Dave, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have free donuts after Mass. And I'm like, get in the car, old man, let's go. And we get to church and we're sitting in there, it's like so boring. Like the priest is going on and on about Nazareth. And I'm just like, dude, calm down. Like, they weren't even that good of a band, you know? But then it got kind of cool. He's like, this is the gospel according to Mark. And he tells a story. It's called The Miracle of the Loaves and the Fishes. Does anyone know it? Yeah, it's like one of the hottest jams in the Bible. Like top 10 greatest hits. If you don't know, I'll tell it to you now. And if I get anything, I'll just tell me. So like way back in GSC Bible times, there's this guy. I'll call him Todd, right? And Todd's having a party, right? It's not even a party. It's just more like house everyone gets together type thing. And he's like, everyone come over at 7. I'm going to have some bread and some fish and some water. And all Todd's friends are like, oh, my God, this party sounds like it's going to suck. I don't want to go to this party. And they're like, we have to go to this party. He's our friend. Let's come up with a plan. All right, we'll go stay for like 45 minutes, and then we'll give each other a sign. And we'll just be like, Todd, oh my God, this party was so fun. But we got to get going back to Bethlehem. You know how that traffic is on the road to Gethsemane. And they're like, oh, that's a good plan. And they go to Todd's house and they walk in. And Todd's like, oh my gosh, you guys, thanks so much for coming. Help yourself to some bread and some fish and some water. And all Todd's friends are just like, no thanks. And Todd's hanging out with his friend. I'll call him Randy, right? And Randy's like watching people like slowly trickle into the party when he sees this guy with like the long hair and the beard and the flowing gown and stuff. And he's like, Todd, oh my God, that guy walking in your house right now looks exactly like Jesus Christ. And Todd's like, dude, that is Jesus Christ. He's friends with my friend Karen. And I didn't say to bring friends, but I didn't say to not bring friends. And I guess she brought the Son of God, haha. And anyway, so then everyone starts like calling and texting each other. And everyone's like, you gonna come to Todd's party? And the other guy's like, no, I heard that party sucks. And the first guy's like, I'm here right now. Jesus Christ just walked in. It's honestly one of the top 5 Messiah-based parties ever been. You should come. So people start coming from all over, and like those dicks from Galilee showed up, and they're like guzzling the water, and they eating all the bread and the fish. And Todd's like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting this. And Randy's like, you should have anticipated a little better. And then Todd's like, if this keeps up, I'm gonna have to go on a bread, fish, and water run. And Jesus Christ overhears this, and he's like, guys, don't worry about it. I'll totally take care of it. And Todd's like, wow, Jesus Christ seems like a pretty cool guy. I heard mixed things. Seems like a good guy. And so first Jesus takes the water, and he goes blammo, and he makes all this wine. And it's not like a house white and a house red. He makes a Sauvignon Blanc. He makes a Chardonnay. I know. He makes a Pinot Grigio. He makes a Riesling. I know. And he even made a Gewürztraminer, yeah. And this one guy's like, Gewürztraminer, that's a little too sweet for my taste. And Jesus pours him some, and he's like, here, try it. And the guy's like, well, actually, that's perfect. And he makes Cabernet Sauvignon. He makes a Shiraz and a Syrah. A lot of people don't know that's 2 different things. Jesus Christ did. He even made a fuckload of rosé, right? And this is long before the renaissance of rosé we know today. So everyone's like, Jesus Christ, hate to break it to you, but no one really drinks rosé. And Jesus is like, check back with me in 2,000 years, you fucking dicks. And he even made like a ton of white Zinfandel, and everyone's like, white Zinfandel, only underage white chicks drink that. And Jesus is like, oh, look in the corner. And then he moves on to the bread. Bread, I don't even know how to describe what he did with the bread. He starts with like a pumpernickel loaf, right? And he like cuts out like the top of the loaf, right? He moves that bread. Then he makes spinach dip. I don't know where he found time either. And he fills the hole with the spinach dip. And then the bread that he's moved earlier, he then cuts that into like little triangular pieces with which are meant to like eat the spinach dip. Can you guys even picture what I'm talking about? So everyone's like, yeah, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you made us pumpernickel spinach dip, and this is the best line tonight. Jesus is like, what are you guys talking about? I made that all for me. Big laugh, and everyone's like, wow, our Lord and Savior has a really great sense of humor too. I didn't see that coming. And then he moves on to the fish, and he goes blammo, and he makes all this fish, and it's not like some breaded cod bullshit. He makes a mahi-mahi, and he makes a tilapia, and it's like perfectly light and flaking off the bone, and he left the head on, and some people are like, well, normally it bothers me when the head's still on. This case doesn't bother me. I don't know why. And he even made like a tarragon drizzle. I know. And the people that hadn't tried it are like, tarragon drizzle, that doesn't sound like it would pair very well with mahi-mahi and tilapia. But the people that already tried it, it's like, yeah, it's really good. You should give it a shot. And it's pretty good. And so here's the fucked up part, right? He did all this stuff, but he made no side dishes, right? So people are literally like, Jesus fucking Christ, where are the side dishes? Make some string beans, boil a bag of rice, you piece of shit. And Jesus is like, you guys are a bunch of assholes. I'm going to my friend's house, and they're making me dinner, and there's 12 of them, and we all sit on the same side of the table for no apparent reason. I'm really sorry. I can't remember why I brought this up. Oh, my dad and I ate the fuck out of those donuts. That's what I meant to tell you. That was the whole point of the story. All right, I just want to go straight into the Q&A. No.